Hey Gemini, it's Empress Rose here. Welcome to your reading. These are general readings, so we're going to take what works and leave what doesn't, as with everything in life. If I don't catch your wavelength or storyline on this reading, check your other major placements, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. Also, if you get something out of this video, please hit the like button and also that subscribe button because it helps other people find the channel and it gives me a little thrill. So, okay, that's that. All right. We're starting off with some oracle cards. We're doing oracle mystical moments this week. This monster deck of Moonology and Work Your Light. And then we'll move on to the Golden Tarot for a more traditional tarot spread. All right. Oh, woo! Gemini. It is time to take action. This is really interesting because I don't know. I don't know about this. There's like all these other cards are about stillness and stasis. And then we have this card coming out, time to take action. So we'll see. I love this card, transformation. Something here is changing. You've changed. It's a bit more organized. There's a bit more understanding and clarity about what's going on here and what's happening. You're looking back at the past, at who you used to be, and you're realizing how much you've changed. You realize it. You see it. This is changing. This is happening right now. You're not quite ready to fly off into your future, but you're in a moment of reflection about where you've been and where you've come from. And you're understanding and seeing it in a totally different way. However, looking towards the future, we've got some frustration here. We have, can you hear me? This is about communication frustration. It can be on either end. Has she blown her conch? And can they hear it across this lake she cannot see through, right? She's blown her foghorn. She can't see. There's a lot of depth of emotion here. As a foghorn tends to have, in my opinion. There's a lot of depth of emotion and growth. There is a lot of emotional growth here. But she can't, does anybody see her? Can anybody hear her? Does anybody know how much she's grown and how much she's changed? Is it worth communicating? Like, we don't know whether she's communicated and is waiting for a response, or whether she's trying to figure out if it's even worthwhile to communicate into this fog. Is there anybody even out there? Should I blow my conch and let people know I'm here, I've grown, I've changed, I'm different? So there's a sense of wanting to communicate something and just wanting to communicate, but just not having confidence or faith that you're going to be heard, you're going to be seen, that you're going to be acknowledged. There might be a sense of exhaustion here too, as far as like, I don't know if I can keep trying to reach out to this person and having them, no, you haven't. You're just contemplating communicating clearly, because we have secrets here. These are your secrets that you are keeping. They are locked away. You are in both of these. This is a little bit of a redundancy here. And well, I mean, this communicates a lot of emotional growth and not being able to see what's out there, or not knowing how your communication will be received. This is about, you can see quite clearly, and this one is about a secret that you have, or it's not a secret like TM, I have this secret and no one can know. It could be that. It could also just be some part of yourself, or some situation, or something that you just don't talk about very often. You just don't communicate about it. Like my channel. I don't communicate about this channel in my normal life typically at all. It's not a secret. It's just not top. I don't talk about this stuff that I talk about with you guys. I don't talk about it with anybody else in my life. So maybe that's something that I need to consider doing more of. But I mean, this is just a unique situation. So it's just something you don't talk about with people in your normal everyday life. Or it could actually be a secret. But you have the ability to do this. You can see, and I think I don't know what you're waiting on, but both of these have you waiting on communicating something, holding back, not wanting to communicate something, partly out of fear, exhaustion, frustration, and just the uncertainty of it. How is it going to be received? And then we have, it's time to take action. Oh, I see now. Yes, it's time for you to talk about it. It's time for you to communicate about it. You've been waiting, you've been frustrated, afraid, worried, not able to see where it's going, all of that. You feel precarious. Like, if I communicate this, if I open up about this, do I get knocked off my pedestal? Do I get knocked off of this? Will I still be respected? Will people still appreciate me? Or the way people will perceive me will definitely change if I communicate this. So it's time to take action is what we're talking about here. It's you have changed and it's time for you to communicate something. Okay. It just needed to be done in the proper order for me to understand what we were talking about here. Like, because the rest of these, I think you're coming out of a period of holding back, not sharing, being secretive, being quiet about something. I think we're coming out of that and we're moving forward with the new way that we want to be, new communication. I mean, I'm not telling you have to tell someone your secrets because you have to be ready for that. But with this moon oracle, this Moonology deck, time, it's one of the terms that I pay close attention to in this deck. It does mean that there's a timing thing. It's time to take action. All right, Gemini. This is your past, your present, your inner landscape, what's at issue, your environment, your to-do list, and your possible outcome. Whew. We've got a rough start here for sure, and then we've got some really good stuff coming in. So overall, just a massive amount of change. It looks like it's probably internal because we have this other massive change card, and massive change and movement, and then movement. So all this change, it's almost like it could be summarized in the Hangman card. A lot of internal change, and then suddenly we break free. But the whole top half here has this stasis and this holding and withholding. So, but I can see why. I can see why you might have been exhausted about communication, because in your recent past, you've had this Five of Wands, open conflict, arguing, conflicting ideas, conflicting priorities, conflicting perspectives. This might have been inner conflict, but it's more likely, in my opinion, the external conflict in this Five of Wands. So arguing into the wee hours of the morning, possibly, that's always a great idea. Lots of solutions happen there in the wee hours of the morning. So, but there is like sort of drawing some lines in the sand, fighting for what you believe in, fighting for what you want, your perspective, your idea. There are choices that are made here as far as like how far do you want to go with this. Is this the hill you want to die on? Picking your battles, and this was a battle that you felt was worth picking and was valuable to you. Is sort of It was within a group, a family, work, something like a friend group. There's been some conflict here, open conflict. In your current situation, you have the Tower card. This open conflict may have led to somebody being deposed, somebody else falling off their pedestal for you. It's divinely timed. The Tower cards are scary. They're scary to look at. They're awful. But at the same time, the whole purpose is to move things forward. The whole purpose is to rebuild. Something got really torn apart here, really destroyed, needs to be rebuilt. It's transformative, though. Like, this is when you rebuild, you have, it's the Lego tower that got torn apart, smashed to smithereens by your younger brother or sister, and now you just have pieces. But you know what? It turns out you really like building towers, so you do get to build a new tower, even though this is upsetting and horrible, and you cried a lot, and maybe even threw a temper tantrum. You do love to make things happen here. You do like to build things. You like to build your life. We like that. That's one of the main drivers of being alive, is just liking to build things. And we can't just keep building. We have to tear things down. It's like a city with like limits on sprawl, right? We're not just building. We have to tear something down first before we can rebuild, because we just have limited amount of time and energy in our life. So something had to fall apart, and you probably hated every minute of it. But look at it now. You've got all these raw resources, and you're not starting from scratch. You're starting from experience. You know more what you want. You know better how to put this Lego tower back together. You know more like, oh, I'm going to run out of those pieces after a while, so why don't I build it a different way, so that I don't run out of pieces, so that I can, that was a very specific example, but it's the tower moment. It's scary. Things fell apart. Things really came apart at the seams, but you're going to be able to build the next thing, which you do like building, and you're going to be able to build the next thing a lot better with more experience, with more information. You've learned a lot. If you're not learning in a tower moment, I can't help you. But it looks like you have. It looks like you've grown and matured, and you've learned a lot, and you've been changed. You've been transformed in a very meaningful way. It's not just like I changed for today. It's like you've really changed. So what's on your mind? Knight of Coins. Planning something, maybe even communicating about plans. That's what you'd like to do. You'd like to communicate about your plans, communicate about your idea, communicate about maybe even some work plans or some work ideas. You want to make something happen here. This could be talking about this tower rebuilding. Like you want to talk about something. You want to communicate about some sort of long-term. You really want this to have longevity. Like the next tower you build, you really want it to be long-term, much more solid. I don't know if you ever made those towers that were just like one Lego on top of each other for all of eternity. It kind of looks like that might have been the kind of tower that came apart. Now you're thinking like, I think I do want to actually build a better tower, a real tower this time, a tower that's more stable. So you're thinking about plans of stability and how to communicate what you want and how to communicate. You've got a vision here. You've got something you want to communicate. Right? You've got something you want to communicate. This is almost like this coin here. You're looking at this thing that you would like to communicate, that you'd like to bring into reality and talk about. What's at issue here? It's Queen of Swords. You got a little bit of a bitch in your environment here. This is the Queen of Swords reverse. She knows what she wants, but she doesn't have any finesse in communicating it whatsoever. She has no what we call soft skills. She has no ability to communicate this. And this is a selfish person who, this is really coming in harsh. Like there's some selfishness here. There's which selfishness has its place. We need to be selfish in order to survive to a certain extent. But this is harsh words, harsh communications, mean ideas, difficult. This is a very difficult person. They're a little bit cruel, a little bit mean, don't watch their words, don't care at all how they're coming across. They just care that they're communicating exactly what they want to communicate. So this could be you, and that's creating your own problem here, or this could be somebody that you have to deal with. As a court card, it could be very much someone you have to deal with that's harsh, that's mean, that's difficult, that's very focused on what they want and their own self. A little bit, narcissist is like a diagnostic thing, but this card is having that vibe to me. This is someone who's not emotionally connected to other people. They're only emotionally connected to themselves. And they're saying some harsh things. They may even think some really mean things about other people, and it comes out their mouth. How can it not? Yeah. In your environment, though, you have this Ace of Cups here. So there's some sort of new emotional beginning. This is really interesting. This is what's at issue. But we have a new offer here that's full of hope and peace and love. But this has been what's been going on, is this bitchiness. But now we have this new offer in your environment, maybe somebody new coming in or a new opportunity. Of course, if you've been dealing with someone who's very cruel, it can often be difficult to take or enjoy a new opportunity to connect with somebody, a new emotional journey. There's an offer here on the table of connection and emotion. And you may be like, I don't know if I want to go with this. My last experience, or what I've experienced in the past, has been so difficult and so cruel that I don't know you may be doubting whether you want to take this offer and start this new friendship or relationship or emotional journey, or even reveal something to start a conversation, right? This is you trying to figure out if you want to start a conversation at all with somebody. There's been a lot of conflict, maybe even a breakup in your past. And it's been very difficult. This has stayed with you. And so what are you going to do with this new offer? I really hope it's with a different person, but maybe this other person has changed. Somebody's changed here though. So what are you going to do with this new offer? Is it going? I think the question is it just going to end up in conflict? If I communicate these, you know, there's an opportunity to communicate here, and I think it's really weighing on you whether this is even worth it or not. Your to-do list is the Chariot. It's time to take action. These two cards are action-oriented, movement-oriented. Okay, we can look at our past. That's true. But when things align right now, let's just go. Move, move, move. This is the Chariot is a move quickly, move fast, communicate fast, communicate quickly. I think this Chariot, as well as this it's time to take action, is telling you that whatever new offer you have on the table for connection, for emotional connection, take it, move towards it. This Chariot's looking directly at this cup here and is moving towards it. That's where it wants to go. It wants to go directly at this cup, what's on offer, moving towards it with some sort of entitlement that this is your time now. This is yours. You get to move towards this. You have a legacy of power and a legacy of power. That is yours to access, and that you get to move this forward. The things have aligned, things have come together. There is alignment here, moving towards whatever this new emotional beginning is. It could be romantic, it could be friendship, it could be, I have a hard time with a renewal with this energy, but you know, sometimes people can change. We can change, right? Do we want to offer that flexibility to other people in our life? We got to have a lot of evidence, so that they're going to do that. But where this is going, 3 of Cups, beautiful friendship energy, vibing with people, sharing openly, honestly, our hopes, our fears, our dreams, our crushing failures, like just the sharing deeply, emotionally, openly with a friend group or people in your life. It's the Three of Cups to me is always about friendship. It's which is the basis, a good foundation for any romantic relationship also. So, but the Two of Cups tends to be more on that romantic level. But the Three of Cups to me is about a deep friendship, deep sharing. So I think this is you maybe have an invitation to hang out with someone, hang out with some people, to share. And this is you doing that deep sharing and moving towards that with confidence in yourself, because you've changed. So, you know, the deal with working with these people is at some point in our life, it's very crushing, very difficult, very awful. And we internalize a lot of the things that they say and do. But as we grow and as we change, we can still we can handle ourselves better. We can, if something like that comes up, you can handle it. I see you having a lot of power and a lot of say here and being able to handle that. And it's not going to be a repeat of the past. It's not, this is the new thing. The whole reason that past tower moment happened, the whole reason for that happening is for what is coming in now, is so that you'd be available to say yes to what's coming in now. So that you'd be available to move and to rebuild relationships, healthy, mutually sharing relationships of deep emotional connection. So, all right, Gemini. We have here with the wild Kuan Yin. Oh. So we have winter time, and we have what I feel like is this Ace of Cup in her hands. This sort of bleak landscape, but this promise of this new beginning, this new beginning satisfying. It's almost like a heart. I think it's a pomegranate, but it's almost, or a persimmon. I don't know what that is. But it feels to me like a heart in the hand. keeping it simple. Your mind may convince you that manifesting your destiny is more difficult or complex than it needs to be. Yet the guidance of the Divine Mother is to keep things simple, do what you can do, let go of everything else. That's what I was saying with this. You've changed, and you move towards what you want. And you're going to be able to handle whatever. If there's something negative here, which I'm not seeing that as part of where you're going. I see that as part of where you've been, but not as part of where you're going. So just don't try to manipulate. That word has some things. Don't try to manipulate the situation or try to get to an end result. Just go step by step forward with this really beautiful energy. You may be worried and scared of it because of what's happened in the past, but it is a good, positive, beautiful energy, supportive friendships. So, all right, Gemini, I hope that was helpful for you. Have a great week.